Conflicts between nations are shaped by many factors. Today we explore how long a war between Israel and Lebanon might last by examining 5 key elements. First, let's consider Hezbollah's capacity for endurance. Over the years, Hezbollah has amassed a significant arsenal of rockets and missiles. Their strength isn't just in weapons, but also in their ability to withstand losses. However, prolonged conflict could strain their resources. Losses of munitions and leadership might weaken their operational capabilities. Additionally, the support of their popular base is crucial. If civilian areas face hardship, public support could waver, affecting their ability to sustain a long war. Second, Israel's capacity for pain plays a significant role. Israel has a technologically advanced military and strong defense systems. Yet, enduring a prolonged conflict has its challenges. The Israeli public values security and normalcy. Extended disruptions, threats to civilian life, and military casualties could increase pressure on the government to find a swift resolution. The economic impact of a long war could also weigh heavily on the nation's willingness to continue. Third, the geopolitical influence of the United States and Iran is a critical factor. The US, a key ally of Israel, provides military aid and diplomatic support. Its involvement could affect Israel's strategies and the international response to the conflict. Iran's support for Hezbollah includes funding and military supplies. Tensions between the US and Iran, especially regarding nuclear agreements, could escalate or de-escalate the conflict. If diplomatic relations worsen, the war might extend as part of broader regional tensions. Fourth, changes in Gaza could influence the war's duration. If Hamas in Gaza were to surrender or agree to a ceasefire, Israel might redirect its focus and resources toward Lebanon. Alternatively, continued conflict in Gaza could stretch Israel's military capacity, affecting its operations in the north. A resolution in Gaza might also impact regional sentiment, either encouraging a push for peace or emboldening parties to pursue their goals more aggressively. Fifth, the potential for an Israeli ceasefire is significant. International pressure and the desire to minimize casualties might lead Israel to seek an end to hostilities. Diplomatic efforts by global and regional powers could facilitate negotiations. If Israel determines that continued conflict is unsustainable or counterproductive, a ceasefire could shorten the war considerably. The length of a war between Israel and Lebanon would depend on these intertwined factors. Hezbollah's resilience, Israel's tolerance for prolonged conflict, geopolitical influences, developments in Gaza, and the possibility of ceasefire negotiations all play pivotal roles. History shows that wars can be unpredictable, yet understanding these elements helps us grasp the complexities involved. Ultimately, the hope is for a peaceful resolution that ensures safety and stability for all. In a region rich with history and culture, peace remains the most valuable goal. Through dialogue and understanding, perhaps a lasting harmony can be achieved. For the rest of this video, we will focus on the numerous geopolitical factors at play. Iran's influence on Hezbollah is a critical factor in understanding the dynamics of the conflict. Tehran's financial and military support empowers the group, enabling it to challenge Israel. This relationship adds a layer of complexity to the situation, making it more than just a bilateral conflict. The status of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, commonly known as the Iran nuclear deal, also plays a role. If revived, it could potentially lead to a de-escalation of tensions in the region. Conversely, its continued absence could embolden Iran and its proxies. The deal's future remains uncertain. Iran is facing its own set of economic pressures, largely due to international sanctions. This could influence its willingness to support Hezbollah's operations. A weakened Iranian economy could limit its ability to provide resources, potentially affecting the duration and intensity of the conflict. However, Iran's ideological commitment to the Palestinian cause remains strong. Hezbollah's dependence on Iranian support makes it vulnerable to shifts in Iranian policy. This creates a complex dynamic where internal Iranian politics can have a direct impact on the conflict. Understanding these internal pressures within Iran is crucial for predicting the trajectory of the war. The upcoming US presidential elections introduce a significant element of uncertainty into the equation. Different administrations have historically adopted varying approaches to the Middle East. This can range from active engagement to a more hands-off approach. The outcome of the election could therefore significantly alter the dynamics of the conflict. A change in US policy could impact the level of support provided to Israel. This could influence Israel's military strategy and its willingness to negotiate. A shift in US involvement could also affect the broader regional dynamics, potentially emboldening or restraining other actors. The US remains a key player in the region. The US also plays a crucial role in mediating between the conflicting parties. Its diplomatic efforts can be instrumental in achieving a ceasefire or a long-term resolution. The extent of US engagement will depend on the priorities of the new administration. The next president's approach to the conflict will be closely watched. The political climate within the US also influences its foreign policy decisions. Public opinion, lobbying efforts, and partisan politics can all shape the administration's approach to the Middle East. Understanding these domestic factors is crucial for anticipating US actions in the region. The US political landscape is complex and ever-changing. Section 4. A tangled web: regional alliances and the escalation dynamics. The positions of regional actors like Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Russia are crucial to understanding the conflict's dynamics. Each of these nations has a unique set of interests and historical contexts that shape their actions and policies in the region. These countries have their own interests and alliances in the region. Their diplomatic maneuvers and military strategies are often influenced by a complex web of historical grievances, economic interests, and geopolitical ambitions. Their actions can either escalate or de-escalate the situation, making their involvement a critical factor. The delicate balance of power in the Middle East can be tipped by a single decision or action from any of these key players. Saudi Arabia, a key US ally, views Iran as a regional rival. This rivalry is deeply rooted in both religious and political differences, and it significantly influences Saudi Arabia's stance on various conflicts in the region. Its stance on the conflict is often influenced by its broader competition with Iran. This competition extends beyond mere military confrontations and includes economic sanctions, proxy wars, and diplomatic efforts to isolate Iran on the global stage. This adds another layer of complexity to the situation as regional rivalries intertwine with the specific issues of the conflict. The alliances and enmities in the Middle East are not static. They evolve with the shifting sands of political and military developments. Saudi Arabia's actions can have a significant impact on the trajectory of the war. Its military interventions, financial support to allied groups, and diplomatic initiatives can alter the course of events on the ground. Turkey, a NATO member with complex relationships in the region, plays a unique role. Its strategic location and historical ties to both the West and the Middle East make it a pivotal player in regional politics. Its actions can sometimes be unpredictable, adding another element of uncertainty to the situation. Turkey's domestic politics, economic challenges, and security concerns often drive its foreign policy decisions in unexpected directions. Turkey's interests often diverge from those of other regional players, making its involvement a wild card in the conflict. Its relationships with both Western allies and regional neighbors are fraught with tension and occasional cooperation. Turkey's decisions are crucial to watch. Its military operations in Syria, its stance on Kurdish independence, and its diplomatic engagements with Russia and the US are all critical factors in the broader regional dynamics. Russia, a major player in the Middle East, has its own strategic interests in the region. Its involvement is driven by a desire to maintain influence, secure military bases, and support allied regimes. Its involvement can significantly influence the course of the conflict. Russian military support to the Syrian government, its diplomatic efforts, and its economic investments in the region all play a crucial role. Moscow's relationship with both Iran and Israel makes its position particularly complex. Balancing these relationships requires careful diplomatic maneuvering as Russia seeks to maintain its influence without alienating key partners. Understanding Russia's motivations is crucial for predicting the conflict's evolution. Its actions are often guided by a mix of strategic interests, historical ties, and the broader goal of reasserting its role as a global power.